In today's episode, I'm going to start you off with some landscape photography in the Scottish Highlands, and then I'm going to try some street photography in Edinburgh, where I bump into someone who seems to know quite a lot about street photography.
Who are you?
But before we get into that, I am excited to announce that I've got 2 back-to-back photography workshops in Scotland next year. And I've invited my good friend, Blake Rudis. So you'll have 2 photography instructors. And for the next 7 days, I've got early bird pricing on both of these workshops. So I've put some links in the description below if you fancied joining us. Right, let's begin the adventure, but I'll warn you now, there will be bagpipes.
Ah, wonderful Scottish weather. I love it.
Well, it's 10 a.m. I've had a solid 5 hours of sleep, but I do have a face like a startled pig farmer. But I'm quite happy because we're here at Eilean Donan Castle in the Highlands of Scotland.
It's beautiful.
And of course, it's sideways rain. Have a look at this business.
Well, at least we get a good view
Yeah,
while we wait out the weather. Do you want a sucky?
yeah, always. Oh, lockets. I do like lockets actually, but I'm trying to wash my waistline, love, because I have gained probably 20 pounds in the last 2 weeks, and
There's no sugar in that.
it's all sugar, love. You can't pull the wool over my eyes. I was brought up in this country. So we're just hoping for a break in the weather. I can shoot in the rain. I don't mind a little bit of a light drizzle. That's no problem. But we've had full-blown sideways rain with pretty heavy wind. So I don't want to risk my camera gear. But as soon as we get a little break, which looks like we might be doing right
You
about
might
now.
get 1 second.
Well, there you go. The sun is now out. We might actually get a shot here. Oh, the mayhem of tourist traps. Don't you just love it? Look at this business.
The beauty of Eilean Donan Castle, though, is that even when it's busy, you can usually find a shot without tons of people in it.
All right, so I've gone for a tried and tested classic comp. I've shot this composition many times before. And I actually do prefer it when the tide's up, because then you get a gorgeous reflexion, but it's not going to be up for hours, and we're going to be on the road by then. So you shoot what you've got, don't you? But I just love all of the colour. And because it's almost summertime, there's a lot of green. Look how much green there is around the castle. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, I call it a castle, but it isn't really a castle. Certainly isn't a ruin. It's used for, you know, weddings and stuff like that. But yeah, I like this rock in the foreground. That's always a favourite of mine. And even though I don't have a reflexion, there's still some nice colour in all of this seaweed and these grasses here in the foreground. So the clouds are pretty nice, but I'm just waiting for a nice bit of dynamic light to hit the structure there and all those grasses. There's a little heron over there fishing for breakfast. Oh, he looks like he just caught something. So yeah, we'll just play the waiting game and hope that I don't get rained out. And I love, can you see that little bit of dappled light over there on the mountain? That's the kind of stuff I would like over here in the background, but I might just get that shot anyway, because I think that's going to creep in on the edge of my frame. The waiting game begins. What are you going to do, love?
Well, I'm going to stand here until it rains in about 2 minutes, and I'll probably go look at that little gift shop.
Will you be buying scones?
Probably shortbread.
Every time we travel, we've got a wonderful cat sitter who comes into our house, Shauna, every day, spends time with the babies, and we pay her in wine and tacky gifts. So yeah, we have to get some tacky gifts whenever we're on a work trip, and I'm sure she's blown away by the crap that we've bought her for this trip. What we're gonna get?
Oh, I don't know. There could be something good this time.
There won't be.
I'll get a head start.
All right, I'll see you soon.
So I waited in my appropriate footwear until I got this shot. I knew I'd find Amanda blowing our life savings on gift shop tat, but there was still somewhere else we needed to be.
Now, in all my decades of visiting Scotland, I have never once gone to Edinburgh. But today, that's going to change, because if you look behind me, you will see Edinburgh Castle. Whoa, look at that. But I'm not really here to photograph the castle. I'm here to do a little bit of city photography, hopefully at night, after a little bit of rain. And I love these cobbled streets. So let's go and see what we can find, love.
Yeah.
And maybe stop for several Guinnesses along the way.
That sounds wonderful.
So what I want to try and do in today's video is just kind of mix things up a little bit, give you something a little bit different, and maybe feature a bit of history, a bit of street photography, and a bit of architectural photography, and where better to do that than Edinburgh, you know, while we're here. And we found this beautiful little square near what's called the Royal Mile. And just look at these old buildings. 1622, that one's saying. It's just absolutely brilliant, and there's photographers everywhere. Hang on. Excuse me. Are you Sean Tucker?
Yeah.
Photographer extraordinaire?
I'm not sure about that, but yeah.
Oh, it's just really cool to meet you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Oh,
Big
thank
fan.
you.
Yeah, yeah.
Who are you?
No, I mean, you're joking, aren't you? Gavin Hardcastle, you know.
Oh.
Fototripper, you know. They got a YouTube channel. Does all right.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Does all right.
So we do the same thing.
Well, I mean, I do landscape photography.
Okay. What are you doing here?
Well, I just fancied some Guinness, and I thought I'd come into town.
It's a good resume. It's a good reason. Yeah. That's good.
But you know, I mean, like, you kind of specialise a little bit in street and night photography, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. A bit of architectural, streets.
Yeah.
Light and shadowy. Bit of nighttime. Yeah.
So you could actually give me a few pointers.
I could give you a few pointers.
Yeah. Because I mean, you don't look that busy, so.
Nah.
No, I'll be honest with you. Like, this is not my bag, right? I am not this kind of photographer. And for starters, it's far more easy access than what I'm used to. Mm-hmm. Usually, I'm suffering terribly, covered in sweat, trying not to vomit.
No, yeah, there's less of that in this.
Yeah, there's less of that. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Unless you're on the Guinness.
well, I am, and it's the beginning of the night. Yeah. I could do with some pointers.
Yeah, we could have a wander.
Yeah, you want to wander?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So we followed Sean Tucker through the streets of Edinburgh, amidst throngs of tourists, the exact opposite of what I usually do for landscape photography. But you know me, I like a challenge, and surely this street photography gig's gotta be a lot easier than landscape photography. I mean, how hard can it be?
Like, what would you call this? Like, is this a balcony?
A little portico,
A portico?
something like that.
So he was just taking a shot down there, leaning over this handrail, and I thought, well, that makes a nice shot in itself. So he's just like, basically, like a daredevil, leaning over here, shooting towards that, and I thought that is going to be a nice shot. So I know that this is not necessarily street, shooting super wide, but I've gone for a super wide frame just to get a picture of Sean getting his shot, and if this turns out to be any good, here's the shot.
That's alright for my very first street photography shot ever, but what does Sensei Sean have to say?
So that's my first shot?
It's not bad, but you know the rules. Like every time we get a great shot, we celebrate at the pub with a Guinness.
Well, I like that rule, but I don't know if that was a great shot. Like, maybe let me warm up a little bit first and then...
Work a bit harder for your Guinness.
Well, I just want to earn it.
Yep, that's fair.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll let you lead then. I'm at your mercy.
That way.
All right, so Sean just kind of randomly stopped at a spot, and I'm trying to figure out what he's interested in. So what is it you've seen here?
It's just colour, yeah. Like this colour of the siding. I mean, that's just red on red. Now you can imagine if someone's coming through that gap there, you can imagine someone wearing something red or something blue because it offsets it, and just walking through that gap because it's just red framed, you know, and then the colour coming through. That might be a really interesting kind of graphical shot. but you just have to wait here now and see kind of what happens. Something in street photography we look for is something that will be here now but won't be here in 6 months and will never be here again. So this is a shot I can get today that if I get something great here, no one could get it in 6 months because this would have changed. It would have gone and the building would be back. So we're always looking for, something that will change, something that will be different as well, because that's your shot then. It's your shot of a space of something that was a bit ephemeral.
We had this conversation off camera earlier, but Sean was sort of saying that what he often likes to do is frame something up based on his interest in that particular subject and then wait for something to happen, something to move into it.
So there's two schools of street photographers, one, the bagpipes kick it off. You're in Edinburgh. One is like being a hunter. Some street photographers are hunters, so they will go after subjects. They'll try find an interesting person and they'll follow them for a bit and photograph what they do perhaps, and they're really subject focused. And then you get fishers. Fishers will find a space they think is interesting, they'll get a good composition, and then they'll see who comes to them, moves through the space. And I'm definitely a fisher. So, and it's to do with the fact that I'm a coward. So I don't like the fact that, I don't want to piss anybody off. I don't want to get in anyone's face and photograph somebody and they kick off at me. I don't like the confrontational side of that. Some people love it, but I prefer to find the space first, get a good composition, whether it's colors or light and shadow or something, and then see what comes to me. And then when someone walks into my shot, instead of going, "Oi, did you just take my photograph?" They'll go, "Oh my gosh, I'm really sorry, I walked into your photograph." And I can joke and say, "Don't worry, I was waiting for you," or whatever. And it's straight away not a confrontation, it's something different. So for my personality and the way that I like to shoot, I fish. I find the space and see what comes to me. And it's just a different approach.
That's interesting, because I think my approach to landscape photography is pretty much the same. Where I'll pick a composition based on the shapes and a bit of the story, and then I'll wait for the light to arrive. Whereas a lot of people, they'll just go chasing the light, no matter how weak the composition is, and they'll just try and build a shot. Oh, well, the light was so good that I shot that dustbin. Whereas I'm like, well, you got a picture of a dustbin, mate. So,
but I think it's a great place for landscape photographers to start, because they're used to fishing. They're used to finding the composition first and then waiting for the weather or the light to come to them, maybe or maybe not, right? So it's very close to what they do already. So if you're just starting street photography, start working like that. Find the composition first and see what comes to you. And then if you want to start chasing subjects later and getting a bit more confrontational with it, you can do that. It doesn't work for me. I don't like it. But it's a great.
I want to chase a subject.
Okay, you want my camera?
Let me go.
no, she'll get punched.
No, I won't.
And then you're going to have to.
I found one.
Bye then. Right, that's quite an expensive camera she just stole there from you, Sean. Sorry about that. I guess this is yours now.
That's great.
Enjoyed that.
Thank you. It's very discreet.
Now, I've got nothing against the bagpipes, honestly, but I just prefer them in my AC/DC songs.
So this is a good example, that kind of exposing for the highlights thing. If you look on the back of the camera, so let me mess up my exposure. I'm just using my shutter speed, but if I dial this down to, let's say, 500th of a second there, see this now? The shape that's making is quite cool, and watch this person walking through here. And now I can kind of it's not an amazing shot, but you can kind of see I'm using these kind of blocky shapes, and then I'm just waiting for people to come through and see who comes to me,
Right.
And that's quite a graphical shot. And because he's small in the frame, I'm not featuring him. I feel like I'm not violating his privacy or anything. I'm just using him almost for a sense of scale with the building and the light. It makes it quite interesting. So I work like that a lot.
So what kind of mode are you still in manual mode? But
always manual for me, just because I've got control of exactly what I want the exposure to be.
But what about, have you got like a slightly fast high speed burst or something like that?
I do have. I wasn't using it then, but I can if I want, because it's nice as well. I think people look down on if you use burst, you're cheating.
Really?
But I can't pick exactly when the moment will be where the legs are in the right position. So I'll often burst through someone's stride, like 5 or 6 shots through that, and then I'll pick where the legs are in the right position, because legs are in an awkward position for most of a stride. You need that shape, and often it'll be a shape that matches the shadows too, so I don't mind using a bit of burst.
Yeah, well, I don't see any shame in it. Why would anyone give you grief for having burst mode?
Because I don't know if you know this, but there's a lot of snobs in photography.
There is, isn't there?
Who think there's a very specific way things should be done, or you're a fake.
Yes, there's a lot of those in landscape photography too.
I don't believe it.
Oh, you should read the comments.
So you shooting in manual?
Yeah, I shoot always in manual.
Yeah, it's nice about landscape people. They're like used to manual. Yeah. Most of the time, I'll set my aperture, set my ISO, and just dial the shutter speed.
Yeah.
And because this gives me a preview of the exposure, I can see exactly what I want to see. I'm getting the highlights exactly where I want them to be. And it's not the way to do it, though. You could use I know most street photographers will use aperture priorities. Nothing wrong with that. And then you're either exposure comping as you walk around and one stop under maybe to make sure it's not blowing out and you can lift it back. Or in these cameras, they've got highlight weighted metering mode, which will automatically look at the brightest thing in the frame and expose that, and everything else is dark underneath that. So this style of photography, if you want to shoot automatic, you can absolutely do that. Just use the highlight weighted priority mode. And if you haven't got it, just maybe a stop under, and then just hope you can pull it back, because you're shooting in RAW, I assume you've got the latitude.
Yeah, so you just don't want to blow out those really bright highlights.
Yeah.
You can always lift the shadows. There's so many parallels with landscape photography.
Yeah.
It's all just photography,
It's
really,
the same,
isn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
All right, well, we'll wait here a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And then maybe onto that pint of Guinness that you were talking about.
If you earn it.
I was trying to frame up a shot there, and there just wasn't anybody interesting. No offence, love. No one interested walked through the frame. So how can you control that somewhat uncontrollable element?
I mean, you can't. It's a great thing about street is it's just you get what you get. I mean, it's patience. So I'll have to wait somewhere for. I'm not very patient, honestly, but I'll at least try to wait sort of 5-10 minutes to see who moves through.
5-10 minutes?
I know, it's mad. This landscape photographers are there for hours, right? But you're waiting to see, and hopefully if it's a busy enough spot, you'll get a lot of options coming through, and if you don't get it, you don't get it. You come back tomorrow and you know that spot and that there's something interesting at that time. What Josh and I will do, we've got a friend down in London, Joshua Jackson. You should look him up. He's a fantastic, he's much better than me as a street photographer. And we'll often work in pairs, where if he wants to shoot something, but he can see that people are kind of clocked him. In street photography, we call it bruising the scene. People are aware of you. They know you're there, right? And they'll kind of want to go around the back of you. What I'll often do is I'll stand in the space that they want to walk through and just sort of be photographing something else. So they feel like, oh, okay, there's not enough space, we'll go around. And then sort of, you're almost herding people into the shot without doing anything, you know?
Yeah.
Or we'll do, say Josh wants to photograph somebody particular, but we don't want them to be aware of it. I'll stand in front of him a little bit and we'll act like we're talking, and he'll shoot over my shoulder. Just so, and for us, it's not about being sneaky, you know, because you can say, oh, you're just being sneaky with that, you're trying to get the shot. For us, it's about, you want to capture somebody on the street in an honest moment, like with them unaware and just being themselves. So you can't be noticed. If you're noticed, it's not street photography, it's not candid anymore.
You've poisoned the scene almost.
Yeah, you bruised it. That's why I said bruising the scene. But that's why we kind of cover for each other. So we're anonymous, we're low key, and it's not just to avoid conflict. It's literally so we don't mess with people's kind of natural state when they're just unaware, and then you can capture that on this moment.
Well, you know, we could always employ Amanda, get her to herd the people where we want them, because I reckon she'll get away with things that we can't quite get away with.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
We'd be called creepers. Pick out a freak.
I'll be honest with you, in spite of Sean's pearls of wisdom when it comes to street photography, I was struggling. I just found it difficult to let go of my landscape photography mentality.
I was just thinking I'd put the zoom back on because I'm struggling a little bit.
Like a landscape photographer.
Yeah.
I love the zoom.
Well, it's just, you know, with this lens, I can shoot what I see. I can shoot anything I want. With this lens in a city, it's infuriating. I don't know how you...
struggling with?
Well...
Too tight.
It's too tight. I can't fit what I want. I can't fit what I see into the frame, and it's just, like, enraging. How do you...
It's a good thing to, like, work out is what focal length do you see when you're out and about. Like, some people like wider. What's that?
Well, that's a 20 to 35, so I can get to 35, which is about, what, 28 on a full frame?
So really wide. It's 28 down to...
Well, it's all relative. What you think is wide is narrow to me.
True, yeah, true. You do come from that pano-y world.
Well, all right, so I'll try it. I'll put the 55 back on in a bit, but, like, just, you know, I want to earn that Guinness, right?
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Right, and then maybe when I start doing more people, I could go back to the 55, right?
Yeah.
Right, so...
You can take the training wheels off later.
All right, let me see if I can get this shot. No, it looks like shit.
but I thought I would just give it a go anyway. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Did you not listen to anything Sean said? But just give me a chance. I'm getting warmed up.
What do you think to that?
Yeah, it's cool, but you're definitely shooting like a landscape photographer because you're seeing the wide. Like, I'm not sure what to look at other than the whole scene, which is legit. But like that, if you don't really start to tell us what to look at in your shot, it could start to feel like the postcard shots we take of a city when we go visit a city. I think street photography tries to point the viewer at something more specific. So if you're on a wider lens, you've now got to get closer to something that you think is good. Still with the framing techniques you've got, like there's nice lines in there and everything. But what if you got closer to somebody or a group of people you think we should really be paying attention to? What are they doing? Because I would have to really zoom in to see what anyone's doing in there, and everyone's doing something different, and none of it is that interesting. Like, you're not telling as much of a story there. It's just here's the scene. So to push yourself, it's like to tell us what about that scene is interesting to you, right? And really getting in there. But well done.
With this phone booth, I'd finally started seeing things in street, and I got this shot. But it's not going to win any awards, but it's a step in the right direction. Now, if you want to see a really good phone booth shot, have a look at this business.
That as a detail of a phone booth is like, well, I've seen phone booths all over the world, but that's like a story. The red light adds to the phone booth with the graffiti that says something more and a bit darker. Like, that to me is a shot that says a lot more than just here's and phone booth, you know?
So that you're saying that is better than fart now, shit later. I'm learning.
It was time for some spag bol, a nice pizza, and for me, a caprese salad.
What I'll often do on the street as well, because you said like there's too much going on, it's quite difficult to tune it out. A lot of street photographers will say, don't listen to music, you have to be aware of everything that's going on around you. I'll deliberately stick headphones in, stick on noise cancelling, and put on like ambient music. And I'll try blank all that sound because I find it like quite distracting, and just focus visually, like tune out the audio, just focus visually and look for that small thing everyone else is missing and then hone in on it. How do I rearrange the composition slightly, show you an interesting angle on it, juxtapose it with something interesting in the background? That takes like a different kind of focus. So I think for a landscape photographer like you, it's retraining from this to this. Like when you do intimate landscape photography, right? When you find that little leaf on the ground against a rock, it's that on the street. How do we focus on a person or a hand or a bit of glass that's reflecting something interesting, or a colored light that's casting a bit of color onto the street in an interesting way? It's doing that, getting a bit more myopic with it.
Myopic, I like that.
So that is how you get in the zone. So you know one way that I get in the zone, Sean?
Pizza.
It's to have a massive feed. Caprese salad, garlic bread. That's my appetizer. Then I'll move on to Amanda's pizza.
Well, this is just my pizza.
Yeah, but you're sharing though, aren't you?
Well, it looks like I can slice you a piece.
Yeah, a third will do.
Sean thought I was joking, but I wasn't. However, Amanda had different ideas about the size of my slice.
The rest is mine.
With bursting bellies, we eventually got back onto the street to visit one of Sean's haunts.
All right, so it's fairly close to sunset, and Sean's pointed me towards one of his, would you say, favourite local spots?
I've got a shot here I like. Yeah, it's quite, just the frontage is cool, isn't it?
The frontage of the malt shovel. I would say that this is like quintessentially Edinburgh, would you say?
Yeah.
Just gorgeous. There's so much character going on here. And so what we're trying to do is that fishing approach that he was talking about, where we just kind of be ready and wait for somebody or something to happen that moves into our sort of predetermined frames and see if we can just capture a moment. But it's a lot more tricky than I thought it would be. It's almost like wildlife photography.
And now it's great because you've got light inside and it's like Twilight-y outside, and the light inside and outside is starting to level out the same. So you can kind of see outside and inside at the same time. It's bright outside in the day, it's just darker there, you won't see it.
Yeah.
But you can get a bit of both now, which is quite nice because you get more depth in and out. So yeah, it's worth kind of hanging around and seeing what happens.
finally, I captured this shot just as he clocked me, and then I got this shot. Now I was just starting to get the swing of things, I think because it was twilight.
What do you think to that, Sean?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, we've been watching this guy on the window a little bit, and we're waiting for him to leave because he's dressed with his cool hat and stuff. Came out the door, hit the light, nailed it. You've earned your Guinness.
Was that my first banger?
That's your banger. That's your official banger. He's a street photographer.
Cheers, mate. Thanks.
As the city lights began to glow, I found it much easier to capture these images with the 55mm.
I think I've found a spot. Well, I'm not sure I take credit for finding it, but we have found a spot where I think I might finally earn my pint of Guinness. And it's Advocate Close. It's just this little alley that connects from one street to another. And in the background, you've got this view of this, well, it looks almost like an office block. If I get off to the side here, then you've got this view of the tower there, but it's kind of cut off. But the sky is quite beautiful right now. We've got a purple sky in the distance there. So I want to try and get all of that, but
You're attracting a crowd.
well, that, and I might have to put the camera on the tripod. To do
Really?
this. I might, yeah. Are you going to judge me harshly for that?
Do I have to stand near you while you do it? Can I go for a drink? I lose my street photographer card if I'm standing next to a street photographer with a tripod.
But what if I get a killer shot?
Then you can have your Guinness. And who cares how you got it, right? Just not while I'm standing next to you.
All right.
Okay. No, I want to see what you do with the tripod. I'm interested.
Well, what it is, I'm looking at that and I don't think 55 will cut it. So I think I'd have to go wider. I wouldn't necessarily have to go with a tripod, but I could go wider, get a perfect background shot with the perfect exposure, maybe bracket to get all that dynamic range, and then change the settings for speed, dial it in, and wait for someone to come through. But you can only do that with a tripod shot because you're blending exposures.
You're comping it.
Well, I mean, composite's a dirty word.
Sorry, see, we've all got our dirty things.
Yeah.
Tripods, composites. Oof.
Yeah. All right, I might try it your way first, right?
Oh, no, I want to see the tripod. I can't go without a tripod now.
Well, then, people know I'm a professional, you see, because I've got a tripod.
True.
Right? How do people know that you're a professional?
They don't. They think I'm a confused tourist most of the time.
All right, let's try it.
So I lurked in the alley until I got this shot. In the end, I did manage to capture this shot without the use of the tripod, but don't tell Sean I used the wide lens.
All right, so I didn't need to get the tripod out, but I think I've got a pretty good handheld shot. What do you think to that?
I'm genuine. I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. That's a great shot.
Really? You think that's
because
good?
you've got like lots of layers of interest. You've got like the old wiring at the top, and there's light on it.
Yeah.
You've got the background with that sort of tower in, the bit of blue hour, and the light there, and your subject's anonymous because his cap is sort of casting shade on his face.
Mysterious.
Yeah, exactly. So now there's a story. Who is this like shady figure walking through an alley? Like it makes it much more interesting. I love that. Genuinely, I love that as a shot.
So do you think I've earned that Guinness then?
I think you might be allowed to.
What about a Guinness and a kebab?
Yes. Yeah.
So my lady got cider. You're on a G&T, and I got a Guinness. But I will confess, it's a Guinness Zero. Apparently there's no good stuff in it. We'll see, because I'm driving, right? So we'll see. Cheers.
Cheers.
Honestly, that is not terrible.
Apparently it's supposed to taste like a Guinness, isn't it? Is it that far off?
It's actually quite good.
After inhaling our beverages, it was time to go home.
All right, mate, thanks for the Guinness. I was thinking we could probably give you a ride home if you want.
Yeah, it'd be great, yeah.
Yeah. All right, we'll show you where the car is. All right, this is it here, Sean. Just this one. Yeah, just get in, mate. Yeah. Yeah, get in, mate. Get comfortable.
Oh, thank you. It's so sweet of you to give me a lift. Cheers. Whoa, what's the smell?
That, Sean, is me boots.
It's bad. It's really bad. My eyes are watering a bit. I'm gonna have a little walk. It's a lovely evening.
It's an hour.
It's beautiful outside. And you should get home and get some nice sleep. And it's been lovely to meet you.
Bye.
Are you sure?
Yeah, oh God, yeah, I love a walk. Yeah, see ya.
Bye. Well, I don't know about you, but I think that went really well.
Yeah, that was great.
I just want to say a huge thank you to all of my Patreon supporters shown here. You really do make it possible for me to keep this channel going. And if anyone's interested in my monthly critique sessions on Patreon, there's a link in the description if you're interested.